Hi, it's Jen here with the Sea Other Project. Welcome back to our channel. We have been in a pause over the last few weeks, which leads into what our topic was today, which is the freeze stress response. So, what's the difference between a pause and a freeze? Freeze, when we talk about it in our stress response sense, is our innate stress response reacting to something externally. So, for example, I was at the airport a few years ago and I saw an older man fall down the escalator and I immediately froze. And I was a bit disappointed in myself because I thought, oh, I should have rushed over to help him. I saw other people rush over, but it was my natural stress response to freeze. And so part of that is not shaming our natural stress responses. They have kept us alive for a long time. To recap, we have fight, flight, freeze, and then even fawn. So today, talking about freeze, it's just an example of how our natural stress responses sometimes kick in without us even being aware or making a conscious choice. So what happens when we add consciousness and awareness into our stress responses? So we can look back, as I'm doing right now, looking back, and I recognize that that was a natural stress response of mine. And I can continue to give myself some grace for that stress response. But I can also begin to put conscious choice and even communication around when I feel immobilized, when I feel frozen, when I feel like I'm not able to take a step forward. And I think we can apply that to a lot of circumstances in our life. Sometimes we might feel frozen when we're asked to make a decision, when we're asked to communicate with somebody else, when we're asked to, again, take a step forward and we're not quite ready to do that. So that's when we can add a decision-making component to that and a consciousness around that. And that's what I call a pause. And so I consciously have paused our YouTube videos over the last few weeks because we've been in a natural pause. We have been in a furlough, which has impacted our family. We have been going through and experiencing lots of different changes within jobs, within family. And so taking that conscious pause can often be really helpful sometimes. And we can even categorize that as a form of emotional intelligence when we can be aware of our pause. And then when we can communicate around the pause, that is even more helpful. So if you're looking for more connection and better communication, then adding the vocabulary around your pause can be really beneficial. So for example, if you're asked to make a decision around maybe a job, maybe a financial opportunity, a business opportunity, and you're not quite sure, maybe you feel on the spot, you feel a little frozen, taking that opportunity to say, I'm going to take a few days on this. I'm going to pause on this. I'm going to maybe do a little bit more research. I'm going to talk to my partner. I'm going to whatever it is that you feel like you can do to make a really informed decision and you're not rushing into that decision. That can be really helpful as well. Maybe even I've learned this as a parent of my daughter might ask me a question and I've learned to say, I'm not going to make a decision right now. And it gives me time to think about things or really consider all of the options or outcomes. So a pause can be really healthy in life. And even pausing before we say something, that is another great form of healthy communication. When we might not just blurt out something, we can pause beforehand and really assess if it's going to be helpful to the situation, helpful to the relationship. And so that's where we can look at the difference between a pause and a freeze and where they can be helpful, not helpful. Again, our freeze, the frozen stress response, it has helped us in lots of different survival aspects. So just paying tribute to that and then beginning to add our own awareness and decision making around that feeling of feeling immobilized or frozen around a certain situation, person, or experience. So I hope that's helpful today. We're going to continue to dive into our stress responses and unpack them. We do have some Oklahoma City dates coming up. We have a November 8th, I believe, Saturday, 10 a.m. ruck. So it's just a community ruck. It's open to all. Make sure to visit our website for more information, which is theciothaproject.com, and that is in our YouTube description. And so please join us if you're in the Oklahoma City area. If you're not and you want to weigh in to some of the things we're talking about, hop over to Facebook, and we have a Facebook page. We'd love for you to join. That's where we have all of our conversations and being able to have productive, healthy dialogues with one another. And you can continue to connect with us through the Ciotha Project through that Facebook page. So stay updated with what we're doing. We'd love to connect with you and look forward to next time. Bye-bye.